What's up, everybody? I'm excited about this episode. So my buddy Rio hooked this up. I met him a little while back. We were talking and he just like casually mentioned his first ever YouTube video and he pulled it up on his phone and it was him at the original Silky Hike doing like push-ups in the back of a ABC News, like podcast, broadcast, whatever they were called. And it was him and Donny O'Malley. And I was like, you know, Donny O'Malley? I've been trying to get a hold of Donny for a while to get Donny on the podcast. And he's like, oh yeah, we're homies. And then bada bing, bada boom, a few weeks later, people are awesome. So Rio hooked this up. Donny O'Malley, for those of you who don't know, is the guy behind Irreverent Warriors. He is also, which is like Silky Hikes and veteran suicide and all kinds of other cool stuff. And he's also behind VetTV, which is like the funniest freaking streaming service ever. It's the kind of humor that you're like, oh, I hope my parents never know that I like this stuff because it's so crude, but it's everything you could have ever laughed about while you were like deployed. And I love it. And he's a Marine Corps officer. So I brought out some scotch to drink on the show because fuck it. And for those of you listening, this is going to be explicit. So if that bothers you, just, I don't know, mute it and watch it anyway because we need the, downloads. No, I'm just kidding. Alex, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Dude, I'm good. You know what I don't ever do that I need to get better at doing? We need to get better at doing for our show. I just realized this.
I thought our show was perfect.
It is, except I was thinking we should start doing like you're listening to the Military Millionaire podcast, show number whatever, because that's, I don't know, podcasts do that. Anyway, but what we do need to do, or at least I need to do, is say, hey guys, if you like this fucking show, you should leave us like a 5-star review and subscribe so that like other veterans can get some good stuff out of this. On that note, yeah, I see Donny in there. So what are you going to say?
I can do that sales pitch. Yeah. So what happens is people forget to give us the review and they think, don't worry, I'm the only one that didn't do it. And then nobody does it. You're all jerks unless you've already done it.
You saw our 1-star review, right? Did I show you the 1-star?
No, I don't care.
Yeah, it was basically just some guy saying we were jerks because we said that if you're not rich, you didn't work hard enough and you could work harder. To which I said, well, he probably didn't work very hard. So
okay, stop bringing it. Stop. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just
we only care about 5-star reviews. Everything else I don't care about. If you yeah, I don't care about that. Leave us a 5-star review so we can get paid, son. That's all I'm here for, is to get fucking money.
Hell yeah, haven't made a penny. Whoop whoop. But you haven't. I've made a penny or two. Not a whole lot. Maybe 3 pennies.
It's charity. So go to iTunes, give me a 5-star review.
Maybe I'll bring Alex onto payroll if you guys give us enough reviews.
Yeah, heck yeah. I need to pay for Uber Eats, bro.
Hey guys, if you're looking to take your investing, business, life, or just yourself to the next level, then I have something for you. The War Room Real Estate Military Mastermind Group is a mastermind group that meets weekly in small groups of 5 to 6 people to help you hold yourself accountable and really experience that growth. But we also have a monthly guest speaker that we bring in, and we've had guest speakers that talk about mindfulness, taxes. We're bringing in somebody to talk about marketing. We bring in very specific topics that will adhere to very broad, any kind of real estate investing or entrepreneurship that you want to do, and will really help you out. And we let you ask these speakers questions and get very personal with them. And then back to the small groups, weekly accountability for what you're trying to achieve, and just being surrounded by like-minded people. And they say your network is your net worth. I know that's an overused phrase, but I recommend that you check it out. So just shoot an email to wrmastermind@gmail.com. Once again, that's wrmastermind@gmail.com, and we'll send you some more information.
Welcome to the Military Millionaire Podcast, where we teach service members, veterans, and their families how to build wealth through personal finance, entrepreneurship, and real estate investing. I'm your host, David Pere, and together with my co-host, Alex Felice, we're here to be your no BS guides along the most important mission you'll ever embark on, your finances.
Vehicle 1, you're clear to depart friendly lines.
Roger, Vic 1, Oscar Mike. What's up, Military Millionaires? I'm your host, David Pere, and I'm here tonight with my co-host, Alex Felice, in his pink and flawless hair as always. But tonight we have the one and only Donny O'Malley, the same Donny O'Malley who is behind Irreverent Warriors and started the Silky Hikes, which you should all know about, and also VetTV, which we're going to talk about tonight. But if you haven't heard of VetTV, you should go check it out right now because it's a phenomenal streaming service that is hilarious as fuck, and I love it. It's the kind of comedy that you probably wouldn't watch around your mom, but I would watch it around all of the guys I serve with, and it's fucking awesome. So, Donny, this is going to be fun. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Let's so could you give just a little bit of a background about I guess kind of your story and what time in the military or whatever and up to present, just a quick snapshot for our listeners?
Sure. Okay, we're going to start military.
Or wherever.
Joined at 25 and became an infantry officer. That was my dream. And it was my intention to join the Marine Corps. I just wanted to do 4 years in the grunts, and then I wanted to go MARSOC. And I think that incurs a 5-year commitment. And then I wanted to get out. At first it was recon. And then when I learned about MARSOC, that's what I wanted to do. And so I came in and I got infantry officer spot, which was the sickest thing. It was such a dream come true. And then had 2 deployments, a MEU, combat pump. Had an incredibly fortunate military experience. I feel like the luckiest person in the fucking world because of how much of the Marine Corps I got to experience in a short period of time. And just the amazing people that I was fortunate enough to be raised by. Like I was raised by dudes that had done, any 2 to 5 combat pumps. Like these seasoned fucking warriors raised me. And like, that was an incredibly fortunate thing to be a part of that. And then my body's just weak. So I ended up getting medically separated. I spent the last year and a half in Wounded Warrior Battalion. Just getting surgeries, being a little bitch. And I got separated. And all I wanted to do was start a production company. That was it. That was my dream. Since I was 19 years old, I was like, I'm going to start a production company. I'm going to staff it with my friends and family, and we're going to make a living making people laugh and making each other laugh. And that was, I developed that vision when I first learned about Adam Sandler's company, Happy Madison. He was my favorite, like, of all time. And then I learned about what he did with Happy Madison. Like, he started the company, and then literally everyone in his family got a job doing something. And I was just like, my family is so much like his. Could I imagine if I make movies with my family? What a dream. So that's what I set out to do. But then my fucking stupid buddy killed himself and fucking wrecked that fucking plan. And then I had to start VetTV, thanks to him. A fucking schmuck, right? That's good. So I set out to write a book, published it, and then I was going to make another book, and make another book and build an audience. And then I was going to start making short films and then longer films. And that's how I was going to get to my company, to the dream. And so after the first book, which was Embarrassing Confessions of a Marine Lieutenant, I developed a decent following because I was only trying to entertain a very small group of people. Yeah. I was just trying to make my buddies laugh. So it's like, fucking, let's all come together and laugh is all I wanted to do with that book. And then my buddy killed himself right before the book was published. And so I did a bunch of research on suicide, and I came up with an actionable plan for suicide prevention in my book. This really has hit me recently. And I was like, holy shit, I really need to share this because I had this vision a long fucking time ago, and I didn't even know it. And it kind of all came together through veteran television. But it was an actionable plan. And the plan to prevent suicide, it was so simple. It was to facilitate connections between veterans with shared experiences. And the most intensely shared experience is like your buddy, a guy you were in a fighting hole with or in a truck with in combat. Like that guy is probably more connected to you than many people in the world. And then outside of that, it's someone else in the squad, and it's someone in the platoon, company, maybe battalion, but I think after that, it's battlefield. And so if you can connect people by by introducing two people who were both at Al Assad or Al Taqaddam in 2004, right? Even though they were in totally separate units doing different jobs, they could start talking about what it was like being in Al Assad in 04, and they'll be connected, right? Like, it's weird, powerful connection. I've been seeing it everywhere because I've been going to fucking hosting like live events for fucking since my book came out. And I would watch these connections happen. And then that turns into a friendship. And that friendship literally keeps people alive. You have these little microcosms of friendships being created all over the country that ends up creating a greater sense of community. And so that's what all of this entertainment that we're doing is intended to do. Is what I listed out in my fucking book years ago, without even realizing it. Like, that's the formula for preventing suicide. It's so simple. Get them to come together and laugh and connect people with shared experiences. And so that was the book was then became Irreverent Warriors, connecting people together at these events. And we don't do it as it's not completely formalized yet, but in some places we'll have name tags, and it's like, don't even bother writing your name, just write a battlefield that you fought on or a unit that you've been in. So now someone sees someone, oh, TQ, no way, when were you there? And bam, the conversation is started. It's like you're injecting fuel into this conversational fire that you want to create amongst people, amongst veterans. And it's all to prevent suicide. So yeah, Irreverent Warriors came first, and then VetTV came next. And the mission is the same, to use humor and camaraderie to bring people together, improve mental health, and prevent suicide.
Dude, I love it. And in the same vein of what you just said, so I was in Afghanistan in 2010 and worked right alongside 2-5. So when I saw some of your bio stuff, I was like, hey, I was in Marja with those guys. So I was back then, 2010, Marja, Sangin, whatever. So when I was looking through your stuff, I was like, that's interesting. So funny you brought that up. I'm just gonna plug that.
What a crazy place to be motor T, bro. Fuck that shit.
I worked with the security team, but well, we can dig into some of that stuff. You said some interesting things that resonated with my experiences, but this isn't about me and you. This is about you. So, Alex, you had a question.
Actually, I wanted to be selfish. How did you start a production company? I just got into videography recently, and I feel like I want to do a short film.
Yes.
I don't want to do comedy like you. I don't think I could do comedy. I watched a lot of your stuff. It's a far cry from, I'm sure, what you learned as an infantry officer. So
that was brilliant. Right.
So what was the transition? Was there a transition, or were you doing video production while you're in?
No, I mean, I did a couple of goofy, funny skits with my friends, maybe 3 or 4 of them. It wasn't real filmmaking. Actually, no, at the end, when I was getting tired on my way out, I made a couple of music videos, actually. And I think that really taught me at pacing and timing in the end, the fundamentals of editing. So yeah, I did that, but that was it.
You filming and editing yourself?
Back in the day, I edited myself. I don't anymore.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't either if I was.
Yeah,
probably got more valuable uses of your time at this point.
Yeah. The director sits with the editor, though.
True.
No, I'm with you. I'm just curious how it manifested.
In a Kickstarter campaign. So the first thing that I did was I made a video to market my book. And this is after I had been doing the nonprofit Irreverent Warriors, like going full speed, full send. I forgot about the book. I didn't want people to think I was using the nonprofit to market the book. So I literally stopped talking about it. I didn't have a following anyways, but I never posted, just didn't say shit about it. Or sometimes people would be like, hey, didn't you write a book? But it was nothing I was pushing. That was intentional. So then finally, like a year after starting it, I'm like, you know what? I'm so fucking burnt out of this shit. I set out with a mission to publish a book and become a writer. And I need to market it like a fucking proper author. So I made a video to market it. And that video was just intended to make grunts laugh. And that video went viral. And that was titled, First Woman to Graduate IOC Discovered to Have Penis.
Of course it was, Donny.
That's the first thing I ever made. And
dude,
channeling my frustration for a woman in the infantry. I channeled that frustration into that one sketch, and it fucking hit. And then I did it again a week later, and a week later, and a week later. And then finally someone was like, holy fuck, no one's doing this. I would pay for this. And I was like, okay, well, how can I make a living for myself selling this product? And then my research took me to, no, it's got to be a subscription thing. There's no way to distribute it and maintain a decent enough profit margin. So it's got to be a subscription service. And it can't just be grunts. It's got to be for the whole military community. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got to do. And then I started thinking about branding and stuff. And I just did a bunch of research on branding. And Google is everything. Google taught me everything I ever knew. And so just figuring all these things out. There 99 designs, had the logo made. And then I trademarked it because I knew it was a fucking sick ass idea. And I knew someone would take that shit. And so I trademarked everything. And then I made a post on my blog, which didn't have much traffic at all. But it said, hey, I have this vision for veteran television. This is the vision of the whole business. These are the first 10 shows we could make. This is how much it's going to cost. This is why it's important. This is who we're going to market it to. I just fucking threw it out there to the world. And in 2 days, people are calling me, pitching me shows. It's an idea. A fucking idea. People are already pitching me shows like I'm some network exec. I'm like, slow down, bro. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then we did a Kickstarter campaign and then hired a couple people and then off to the races from there, producing the content.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I just started doing videography. That's why I asked selfishly, but I think that story is fantastic because again, like people see you, they know you produce it, they see you in it. But again, I work a camera, so I know exactly how much, I know the miserable end of that. And it's a lot of work to do the production side.
Yeah. Production's long.
That's cool though. The fact that, so I tell people a lot that like the reason I think a lot of service members are successful, whether in entrepreneurship or real estate or whatever. There's a lot of reasons, right? But I think one of the things is that they're decisive. Like if they see something they like, they're not afraid to jump at it and go all in and see what happens. And you literally like made a video, had an idea, and you were like, well, let's post this and see what happens. Oh, fuck it. We're going all in. And yeah. I think that's awesome. Like a lot of people would have had all kinds of hesitations and second guessed it or whatever. And I think that's cool.
Thank you. I like to think it was a lifetime of setting small goals for myself and accomplishing them and developing this completely petrified belief in my ability to do whatever the fuck it is I want to do. And so it's now all I have to do is see it, and then I can make it a reality. And it's been constant, nonstop goal setting. And that's what drives me.
I like it.
That's awesome. Dude, I saw your website. I saw your website. It is mostly nonsense, I think.
Oh yeah, I gotta edit that fucking thing.
I'm sitting here looking at this guy's website. I'm like, is this on purpose or is he just fucking around?
Oh, you know what? Actually, you want a funny story? We had a good dude redo the website. I don't remember why, but we redid it, and he created the format that I agreed upon, and then I was supposed to fill in the blanks, fill in all the lorem ipsum backwards Greek crap, and I just never have. And it's been probably a year, actually.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I think at some point, like 6 months ago, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to do that stupid fucking website. And I looked at it and I was like, it's kind of funny if I leave it like this. I just don't give a fuck. And it'll save me so much time. Okay, I'm doing that. And I forgot about it until right now.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I'm going through. I'm like, some of these fields are filled out. Some of them are done. Some of them are not. Most of them are not. I'm like, this dude, I thought, basically when I was reading this, I mean, obviously I'd never met you before, but that's pretty much the answer I was expecting. I'm like, this guy, he half cared. And he looks at it, he's like, that's pretty fucking funny the way it is. So
I did.
It's authentic. I love
Yeah.
it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was cruising through it today at work on the government computer or whatever. And so I just assumed that the reason nothing was like, it was like halfway filled out or whatever, was that the computer had glitched out. And I'm like, it doesn't let me into half the stuff I look at. So I didn't even notice that. So that's hilarious.
Nice.
Oh man. All right. So I got a question I'm going to ask. So this is actually a friend of mine from high school, Trey Rosenbaum, asked, so I threw it in my Facebook group today. I was like, hey, what kind of questions you got? I'm interviewing this guy you may have never heard of. No. So he said, for one, he said he loved VetTV, but he said that the reason is that it's some of the last comedy out there that's not censored. And he's curious what your thoughts are on some of the biggest issues facing VetTV or censorship in general, with kind of the cancel culture craziness going on. Like, is that a thought for you at all, or is it because you're self-contained streaming, you're like, fuck it?
Bro, are you ready for this shit? You're not even gonna believe me. Most people don't believe me. I have no idea what's going on in the world. I have the news blocked in my Chrome and my phone, so I cannot see the news. I do not have regular cable television, and I don't have the inclination to browse. In fact, I know for a fact that it's better for my success and the success of my business if I passionately avoid the news and avoid anything outside of my little bubble. And I fight for that.
Like the greatest answer you could have given. So at work, they turn on the TV and they turn on the news, and I am constantly getting in trouble for turning it off. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, my life is better when I'm at home and this isn't on. Like, if something big happens, somebody will tell me, and I don't really care. So I completely understand and agree with that. I have cable for my Airbnb guests. I don't think I've ever sat in front of the TV and watched anything but The Office maybe once on it. But that's funny. I like that.
Yeah, dude, that's the key. It's fucking, I think Tim Ferriss said it. He said, focus is the superpower of an entrepreneur. You can focus.
Yeah. And that goes along with your goal setting too. Just worry about what the thing I have to do in front of me, and then the rest is superficial.
Yeah. My brain is literally deleting parts of the past because it's so obsessed with what's in my future. And it's sad. My past is sick as fuck.
Love it.
I'm sorry, Alex. Do you want me to repeat it? Which part?
No. I heard you the second time. I got you.
Oh, okay.
So how long has VetTV been out?
3 years and 3 months.
What's the growth been like?
From 0 to 93,000 subscribers.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah. And if I were to add to that description, painful.
How big is the production company? How many are you guys just out of California?
Yes. Our base is in Carlsbad, North County, San Diego. And then we do most of our filming in Riverside.
I didn't realize you were that close to me. I'm going to have to like crash the set and get hammered, and I'm just kidding.
Come to the office one of these days when we start having get-togethers again, because we have fun little gatherings.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. So where's that? That's where the company is. We have 21 full-time staff, and at any given time when we are in production, we have the casting crew of that production is going to be another anywhere between 20 and 120 contractors for somewhere in that 2 to 4 week period that we're filming.
Wow.
That's it's an expensive production every time. It's not possible to do it very cheap if we're going to do it right according to labor laws and whatnot. So that's part of why Hollywood's always had such incredibly high expenses. Why movies always cost a lot, but what they found is that they don't need to be that high. So where we operate in terms of television production, it doesn't even rank within television. because television production is so much more than that. We rank in like web series, even though like we make scripted television. We just don't give a fuck about what any other network has to say about it or think about it. Like, this is our shit. But this is a fucking television show. So our production cost making scripted television is incredibly low relative to the larger industry, but it's still super fucking high, which has made growth incredibly hard and painful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that much about the TV industry other than they're going through that problem in droves, right? Production dissemination is getting cheaper, and so therefore everybody's fighting production costs, and then something like 90% of movies in the theater bomb, and they make all their money on Marvel movies, and they got to put Audi commercials in them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so if you don't have to pay Robert Downey Jr. $100 fucking million, and you don't have to worry about appeasing Warner Brothers or whatever, Disney or whatever the fuck,
Nope.
and you don't have to stock movie theaters, then and you have a what sounds like a growing and fantastic distribution system, dude, you're in the fucking money.
Yeah, we just want to be community filmmakers. That's what we technically classify as community film. We're focused on our community, and that is always going to bring everyone involved success, because we're going to keep creating jobs like nonstop.
Yeah. What's next? You're a focused guy, obviously goal oriented. So you want to create a production company. Clearly, we've done this.
What's next is we're hiring on department heads with decades of experience. And we just hired on a woman named Shireen Anderson, who spent almost 20 years at Disney and got very high up, launched Disney Plus, right? Like a subscription video on demand service. She's done this before. And now we finally brought her onto the team. We've been like recruiting some talent to come in, and she's the first of them. So our growth is going to exponentially increase in terms of what we are our output. We're going to produce much more television, and we're going to have weekly segments. So like a weekly Troops Gone Wild, and then a weekly musical show where it's all user-generated stuff. And then what I want is to have a Meanwhile in the Field or a Meanwhile in the Barracks, like one of the two that comes out weekly, right? Like a first episode of Meanwhile in the Field just launched tonight. That show's that show kills me. And
I can only imagine, because I know what Marine Corps infantry version of what happens in the field is.
Oh, that shit's gay as fuck, bro.
Is it like live PD, but for the Army, for the military?
Woo! We'll be back with the show in just a minute, but I wanted to take a brief second and say that, look, you are already obviously investing in yourself by listening to this podcast. But if you can't figure out how to get past all that daunting crap that you just don't know how to sort through, and you're trying to get started in real estate investing and you're just stuck, I mean, it happens to all of us. It's daunting. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know everything there is to know, and you don't know really where to find all the information. So that is why I created the Real Estate Investing for Beginners 0 to 1 course, which is solely designed to get you from I want to invest in real estate to holy crap, I have a rental and it's cash flowing. And this course is not going to be anything super complicated that you won't be able to understand. It is just designed to teach you how to build a team, find investments, finance investments, conduct due diligence, close on the investment, and then operate it so that you can enter the real estate investing world smoothly. So if that sounds like something that interests you, definitely check out the link below, and it's cheap as hell right now.
This is actually about everyone. This so it's the overarching series is Meanwhile in the Field, but then we're going to have like mini series beneath it that are kind of dedicated to different units. So that way we're spreading the love all around, right? And connecting people with this, by getting all these people to come together to watch the show about their unit. You know, we break it down all the way to the platoon. And then that's 3 episodes. 3 episodes after that is going to be the 101st Rockathons, which the Rockasans have a really awesome legacy. And so anyway, so that's this Show Me on the Field. I would love for that to be weekly. I want a Grunts Life to be fucking like at least twice a year. And then up the budgets for some of the stuff so we can get more action, like legit fucking gangster ass gunfighting and war fighting. So yeah, that's the larger vision. Have a podcasting network in addition to television, and then a movie division. And that movie division it's not even focused. It's not fucking with television. It's a different type of writing and distribution. So the movie division is now creating a movie that's potentially based on one of the television shows that's proven its value to the audience. And so anyway, so that's what we're trying to do. We're going to have our own little filmmaking community that is just pumping stuff out for the community. And funny documentaries, more shit like Let Bears Laughing Together, animation, books, comic books, and we actually have the military dictionary coming out in I think by Thanksgiving. That's just going to be full of goodies. Full of goodies.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it, and I love it because the stuff that you bring out, it's kind of sad, man. But like the stuff that you bring out is stuff that's hilarious and yet totally frowned upon these days in the Marine Corps or the military. Like it's the comedy stuff that comes out of deployment or whatever that we could all get away with saying in the field. But like I'm getting reprimanded at work for being unprofessional for saying things that people are like, shh, you're not in the field. You're a pogue office guy now. And like this is not what so anyway, so all that to say, I enjoy it because it's the stuff that I enjoy, right? Like that's the side of the Marine Corps that keeps people in the Marine Corps is like the the field and the stupid things that people do and oh man.
The comedy that exists behind closed doors in the tent and in a couple of guys' sleeping bags next to each other. Like that comedy is my favorite shit.
Yeah. And you found a way to capture it and live. I mean, not only are you helping tons of people because you're right, like comedy is great for the soul and connection is great for the soul and getting around people is great for, but you got to create your own world, like your own. I mean, like that's cool. You have to follow your vision and build your own thing. And I think that's huge for a lot of people when they get out of the military, right? Like there's this like transition. I'm not even there yet, but like the transition from like, I'm a Marine to I'm a civilian or like where people lose that identity in the process. And I think like the fact that you were able to build exactly what you wanted to build, and that's huge.
Thank you. It was, I was like I said, I don't know if I said earlier, but I feel like I'm the most fortunate person that I know, right? When I think about everyone else, a lot of people who found immense success had a very abusive or neglectful past. I didn't. My past was sick as fuck. Like I had good ass parenting, incredibly dedicated, focused parenting. That when I look at so many of the guys in my life that I've become really, really close with, have become part of my family, dating back to middle school. It was all kids that didn't have parenting like my brother and I did. So they became a part of our family and are still to this day. So I give it all to my parents. Straight up, can't deny that shit. Yeah,
that's fascinating. Yeah, not everybody is that lucky. I agree on that one. That's good though to capitalize on it.
Yeah, it's like what a fucking piece of shit if I didn't do this shit, right? Like what a loser. Fucking waste it all. Fuck that.
Oh man. All right. So somebody's leaving the military right now. Like, what do you think it was that you took out of the military that helped make you successful? Like we kind of joked about life coaching earlier on, but I'm curious, to kind of crack that nut a little bit and hear some Donny O'Malley wisdom on some of the stuff from your journey and what's helped make you successful and what you think helps veterans when they exit the military. It's a really broad.
Boy, is that a loaded question.
I just thought I painted that with way too broad a stroke.
Go sit. Okay.
As much as you want.
Leaving the military. Oh boy. Maybe this will be the first time I do this.
Uh-oh.
It's the first time I've ever done this, to my knowledge. If you're getting out, you need to think about what you were like before you went in. Like, what was your personality like? Even if your past was abused or neglected. You got to get to some point in your past when you can remember what you were like. And then decide if you want to be like that again. Or be a better version of that, combined with what you learned in the military. But it starts with developing a vision of exactly what you want your life to be like, and then creating an identity. Because your behaviors and your mind, everything follows what you identify as. Like, if you identify as a fucking fat slob, like you're just always joking around about, yeah, dude, I'm fucking fat. And, you're always joking about it. You're going to keep being like that. Your mind is going to, because it's just a pattern. It's like your mind's a program. You're going to keep thinking that way. And then you're always going to be that. It's like you developed a vision for yourself. I'm a fat fuck. And then you become that vision. You have to develop a vision. What do I want to be? Do I want to be a mechanic? Do I want a white collar job? Do I want to pursue something more artistic? Do I want to do whatever it is to spend as much time as possible with my kids? Like, that's my brother. He has a powerful vision for his life, and it is developing beautiful children. So everything moves from that. If the job's going to take too much time from his kids, he's not doing it. And they just won't have more money, but they have a great life. So the vision is so fucking powerful. And I think guys need to acknowledge that until they develop something like that for themselves, it's going to be really, really hard to wake up and just be fucking stoked every day. So it's like, for those who are not waking up stoked every day, there's a reason why. It's because you haven't at least tried to create a vision of what you want your life to be like. Don't, think about all the reasons why it can't be like that, do that fucking pussy shit. Just develop the vision. Just try to fucking, everyone has imagination. Just try and see something cool. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. I could be happy with that. All right. Now you see it. Now research how to make that happen. Who else in the world has done that? Because someone else has done it. And you'll find that the steps, the actual actionable things you can do to achieve that vision, they're all written somewhere on the fucking internet or in a YouTube video. So all you got to do is research it. Now it's like you have the vision, you do the research, and it's like, okay, well, it's possible. It's possible if I do this, 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 and this. So I guess I'm a real fucking piece of shit if I don't.
Dude, I love it. So I'm big on I say I'm big on it. I've become big on vision boards and vision statements and whatever, and just the visualizing what I want to be and writing my goals every day. Because I started this whole platform like 2.5 years ago, and it kind of just started as like a way to document what I was doing, and then it slowly morphed into like, oh, holy crap, I can help people, like I can reach people, I can talk to people. Like this has very quickly become like my purpose or my identity once I leave the military. But the vision for it, like for a while, I was just like all over the place. And I finally read a book that was talked very much about like developing a clear vision. And it's crazy how even with COVID and even with everything going on over the last, like not even a year since I wrote all that down, how much of that stuff has happened. Because it's I remember writing down in December, like host military real estate investing event conference. And then it happened in May. And it's like, okay, now what? So I'm a huge believer in, and you're right. Like, it's like, just find someone who's been where you want to be and listen to them. And, if they've achieved what you want to achieve in life, like if you get close to them, you can't help but succeed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Just study them. Just like there are so many people who you can learn from. And actually, here's something that I would love to share that I don't think I have yet. But if as soon as you can identify people who can make your life better just by listening to them, you know that the words that come out of their mouths, even if you don't do it right then, you know there's just two things you can gain from watching videos of people who inspire you. Is you can gain a better ability to speak, to articulate and communicate. Because most successful people, at least successful entrepreneurs, I should say, are very good communicators. I think it's got to be damn near impossible to be a very successful entrepreneur without being a very good communicator. And it all comes down to communicating your vision. So by listening to other people talk, it's an amazing thing for your brain to fill your brain with. And then you also hear the stories of their failures and their successes. So you're learning from their mistakes. You can get ahead of your own mistakes. Because as an entrepreneur, even on any path, if you're trying to be very successful, you have to define what success is. But if you want to be that, I lost it. Help me.
Failures and successes, shortcuts.
Oh, failures and successes. You're going to fail a million fucking times. Like, you're going to make so many mistakes, but you can just keep the number of mistakes down by studying other people and other businesses. And so it's just like you think about what time you're doing with your time on any given day. It's like, how much time is being wasted, not propelling you towards some goal, right? Because if you can fill your life with enough goals, then every minute of your day could be pushing you towards a goal. Even if that means getting 6 hours of fucking sleep, like put yourself down. Even if that means smoke a bowl and let your mind race and fucking stretch and feel euphoric. Like, that's actually good for your mind, good for recovery, right? So if you have enough goals there, then everything's intentional. And by listening to these people's videos of successful people speaking, it's just going to fill your mind with goodness and keep you moving forward, avoiding mistakes, and moving with speed as well, because it keeps the motivation up. So anyways, the short, but to condense that is, stop watching fucking bullshit television and fucking around on social media, and just fill your mind up with shit that's going to push you towards your goals.
Except for VetTV, obviously.
Except for that's not bullshit television. That's good ass.
I know. I couldn't resist.
I like both those pieces of advice. So I started doing that a few years ago. I started manifesting my goals just because I would write them down. And I never considered myself an ambitious person. Still don't. Right? But I see exactly that face. What's that?
It's nonsense.
And I say, well, I have these goals. And then I look up how to do it. And what I find is I find my ambition along the way. Because it's like, you make a little bit of progress. And I'm like, oh man, I bet I could do more if I set my goals a little higher. So I love that, decide what you want to be, start researching it. A little progress starts giving you momentum, and then you get some stones about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can train your brain to like get a little hit of dopamine when all these
100%.
little things happen. So now you're just like chasing hits of dopamine all day long because you design your fucking day like that. And it's just like, oh yeah, tomorrow I just want to learn about DSLR cameras. Like, I want to walk away from tomorrow just knowing what camera to fucking purchase. And you spend 8 hours Googling, watching fucking YouTube videos of different DSLR cameras and thinking about what cameras is going to be the best for what you're trying to do. And through that research, by the end of the day, you could be like, oh, well, this is definitely the one for price and all of the things that I need. And then, bam, there's a shot of dopamine. You're excited to get that fucking camera because that's the exact one that you want. That's a little win. You just ride that shit.
What kind of cameras do you guys shoot at VetTV?
What's that?
What kind of cameras do you guys shoot at VetTV?
Ari Mini has been the main one. Shot most of our stuff.
Gotcha.
Couple Reds, Black Magic right now. that we're shooting this week right now. We're in production right now.
Wearing masks.
I'm at the hotel room outside the fucking set.
Nice.
Fucking yeah.
Just curious.
Fuck yeah.
Alex is a bit of a camera nerd. In a good
Oh,
way. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it. You're researching cameras and shit. It's fun.
Well, and that's a much better dopamine hit than like, cheesecake, which is a lot of people's dopamine. And I am jealous of the brownie and ice cream dopamine hit from time to time, but or guilty. But I mean, there's a lot of really bad dopamine fixes that people get hooked on, and learning is definitely one that's worth training yourself to like.
Yes.
So I do have let's see. I got one or two other questions on here. I guess one, Rio asked, what organizations are you partnered with, or will you in the future to help raise awareness with Irreverent Warriors or VetTV?
Okay, so VetTV does probably the bulk load of the marketing for Irreverent Warriors by having it on our email list and on our social media. We've never taken a dime from Irreverent Warriors, and as a policy, we won't. But we do their marketing, and the community is the same. It's the same people.
Yeah.
Like when I go to a Silky's hike, I don't know about, not a majority, but a lot of the people there are big VetTV fans, and even if they're not subscribed now, they've probably been subscribed at some point. And it's a cool thing. People talk about the shows and shit. So VetTV will market them, and our specific partner with the Irreverent Warriors is Grunt Style. Grunt Style actually just came on board as a fucking sick ass partner for Irreverent Warriors. They're going to do a lot of Irreverent Warriors marketing, and and also Grunt Styles and VetTV. We have a bunch of mini partnerships going on, but we're actually producing one of their shows called Ton Tavern. It's like Cheers, but for Ton Tavern.
Love it.
And yeah, that'll be, that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks we shoot that with Grunt Style. So anyway, Grunt Style is a specifically new partner. We've been partnered with Black Rifle and even Nine Line and a handful of veteran brands, Combat Comb Over, Grill Your Ass Off, GCO, Kill Cliff. So
some good ones. What's your prediction? Is the October Oceanside Silky hike still going to be able to happen?
All of the planning is going full speed ahead.
All right.
As far as I know. So,
I mean, I figure if I can like cycle down those trails and run on those trails without a mask on right now, then theoretically, if you were to do like outside seems to be fair game. I mean, you can eat in the Denny's parking lot, but not inside. So you should be able to.
we Irreverent Warriors, we've still been doing it all over the country, but I don't think we've done it in California yet. So that's California's a different beast.
Yep.
That shit goes.
Good deal. Well, I got two or three questions that I ask every guest.
Yes, sir.
So the first one I ask is, if a 18 to 19-year-old or an E1, E2 was to walk up to you asking you for life advice, right? A lot of times I gear this towards real estate investing, but obviously it's not quite applicable here. So if somebody was to walk up to you just asking you like just advice for life in general as an E1, E2, what would be like the one thing that you feel they need to know?
There's so much. They're so fucking young and stupid.
Helpless.
Yeah.
Hey, but they're going to listen to the show. And that's that they're here to become less young and, well, less stupid anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess any 18, 19-year-olds who's listening to Military to Millionaire, like, that fucking kid's going to be successful. He's 19. Yes, that guy's, he's going to be good.
You'd be surprised. We get some, I I actually get quite a few people who are listening to stuff and they haven't even gone to boot camp yet, which is really interesting to me. And that's like my target, right? Like if I can get a hold of someone before they go to boot camp and be like, just understand like this one thing about not buying a new car that has 20% interest, like life changed.
Yeah. Look, I don't know if this should be my one thing because it's already said so many times, but do not get married your first enlistment. No.
I like
literally. It means you're a moron because you're too stupid to know that you don't even know who you are as a person. Like you don't know yet. You're not going to know. So fucking 30. So you should probably like give it some time to know yourself better before you commit to someone for the rest of your life, every day, for the rest of your life. What are you doing, bro?
Oh man. I agree with that to I mean to an extent. I'm sure there's extenuating circumstances, but I think I've written a few articles where I say one of the biggest financial mistakes people make is getting married to the wrong person.
Oh,
it's just
I'd say one of the biggest mental health mistakes is getting married to.
Yeah, oh boy, what's the number one cause of divorce in the United States? Marriage. Don't do it.
Oh man. All right. So the next question is, what is one resource, whether that's a book, a course, a website, or I don't know, just a person that you would recommend to anyone looking into whether it's finances, entrepreneurship, business, I don't know, whatever.
Impact Theory.
Ooh. You're the first. I'm a fan.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
So, Tom Bilyeu, this fucking guy is incredible. He never considered himself anything special for majority of his life, which is a lot of why I relate to him. And he ended up starting a company. Well, no, first off, he tried to be a filmmaker, failed. And then failed a couple more businesses, and then started a company called Quest Nutrition that sold for like $4 billion in, I want to say, between 6 to 10 years, which is a pretty fast turnaround to hit that many billions, or even a billion period. That means it's an explosive product, and it was. So he got stupid rich. I mean, stupid. And after the company sold, and he started this program called Impact Theory, which is intended to introduce people to the tools and mindsets and techniques to actionalize on your dreams. And so he interviews incredible guests, and they talk about the ways in which, the majority of them anyways, the ways in which they have been able to find success, or they talk about mindset. And then he does a lot of research into brain science to understand exactly what is going on in the brain, in this big ball of fucking mush that's just loaded with fucking billions of electrical pathways, right? Like, what is going on in there? And so they introduce you to people who will help you understand that. And I would attribute a large amount of my own good mental health and success to that show and the people that I was introduced to through that show.
Yeah, I watch the Impact Theory YouTube stuff quite often, and that I'm a fan. He's a smart dude, and I can't remember the name of his wife, but she's pretty solid too. Like they're just stand-up people.
Yeah. They I met her. Been at their house. I didn't get to meet Tom, but you can just tell they're good people.
Yep.
They're genuine people.
That's cool. All right. So the last question that I always ask everyone is where can people get a hold of you? But I feel like that should be pretty self-evident, but I'm going to let you plug it anyway.
I'm going to say you don't.
Okay. Just go to VetTV and you can watch him.
Hey, get a hold of me. Leave a comment on an episode of Veteran Television.
There you go.
That's the best way to reach out to me. Oh my God, I want to make that a thing. And it can't be the first episode because the first episode is free on the app. It's got to be some other episode of Veteran Television. Hey, you told me to reach out to you by commenting on Veteran Television. That's how I know you subscribed. And yeah, that's it. That's how you get a hold of me. It's gonna be so funny.
Like super subtle way to. I like it.
David, we can't hear you.
Yeah, your mic just came down.
Did it go away completely?
No, a little bit.
Yeah. So David's
now.
real new at this. He's been having operator malfunctions for the last week or so.
Oh, it's
I
just
don't
last
know.
night. I don't know what happened.
So it sounds like I'm going to run the show out. So
Seriously, go out again? Oh my God.
It's just really low.
Can you hear me
Maybe
now?
That's better.
All right. It's like my gain goes down, even though it's not. Like that's what it was earlier. I had to turn the gain back up, but last night it completely shut off and I had to switch to my webcam mic.
Oh no.
isn't this the expensive equipment you bought?
Shut up.
Treated yourself?
It works when you're not on the episode. I blame you.
Yeah.
Oh man, Donny, hey, we really appreciate this. This has been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of really, really good information in here. I really like your viewpoints on vision and just following people that have already achieved what you want in life. And I think Impact Theory is a great resource. So thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. And I just want to say thank you and how much we appreciate you as the Military Millionaire community, but also just service members and vets in general, man. I mean, you're doing a great thing for the community of everyone, right? And that's awesome. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I and all of my friends and my teammates, we try very, very hard to keep you guys laughing. Sometimes we miss the mark, but we're fucking trying our asses off.
Thank you for listening to another episode about my journey from military to millionaire. If you liked it, be sure to visit FromMilitaryToMillionaire.com/podcast to subscribe to future podcasts. While you're there, we'd love for you to rate the show, give us a review on iTunes. Now get out there and take action.